I was born in Augusta, Georgia, where they host the Masters golf tournament every year, the first full week of April. So even if you don't like golf, I'm going to share some things about it that I think you might find interesting. And you can just watch me paint this little picture from my time there because I was able to spend a full week in 2016 and 2017 there. These pictures are all from 2017, I believe, because I was not prepared in 2016 when I was able to go. And so you cannot take a phone with you. So I had to have a camera. And you can only take that on the practice round days. So not during the actual tournament. So I'm going to show some of the pictures that I took during that time as well. So they are not the highest quality. I did not have a professional camera at the time. And I think you had to get another like special permission to take a professional camera, or either you had to get special permission to have it on the non-practice days. So I do not like golf. It's not that I dislike it, it's just I never tried it and don't really have a desire to. But I fell in love with, I don't know. I guess I just gained a respect for it and fell in love with the idea of walking around on beautiful grass with beautiful views outside because I love nature and being outside. And so this going and attending taught me a lot about it. So, more backstory. I lived in the area, but we always had our spring break during the week of the Masters, and we avoided Augusta because so many people were coming from all over the world. And when I actually went to the tournament, I was thinking, oh, it's going to be so chaotic and crazy busy. But it actually was really well run and easy to get in. Like, if you go to a concert and you're trying to leave and it's just chaotic and stressful, this really wasn't the case. It pretty, like, they have traffic flowing pretty well, I thought. Uh, and also, I mean, it ends before dark. So I kind of like that as well. Um, okay, let's see what else. So I just really liked the colors and the umbrellas and the setup right here. And I believe this is the clubhouse area. But after I started painting, I was like, oh my goodness, this is like so many little details. Actually, while I was drawing it out. So I didn't fit all of the details onto the picture, onto the painting, I mean. But I still enjoyed doing it. But this was probably one of my favorite pictures that I took while I was there. I loved that you could not have your cell phone there. And it was really funny. I felt like I was going back in time, but I was like asking people what time it is because they had a watch. And I'm like, oh, I haven't done this since I was in middle school. And I used to wear a watch all the time. And I kind of want to start doing that again. But anyway, I really just enjoyed the general splendor. And it was really funny that all my life it had been there and I had never seen it. There were lots of magnolia trees. So since I didn't really care about golf, which I feel so bad because I know so many people love golf and like it's one of their top things on their bucket list to be able to go, and it's hard to get the chance to go and everything. But I do think I really took advantage of being able to go, and I went every day that I could, and I ate the pimento cheese sandwiches and the peach cookie ice cream sandwich and that kind of thing. And I did sit at the 16th hole, I believe, is the one where during the practice rounds, they will skip the golf ball across the water, and it is so fun and cute. But that's also the best one to see a hole in one. And so I sat there during the tournament as well, but I walked around a lot during the practice and everything too. But I was able to see where, okay, I had to get my story straight and come back and record this because it was actually 2016 when I was at the 16th hole when they did 3 holes in one. And I mean, it was crazy and it was exciting, but my brother had told me that's the one where it's most likely for people to get a hole in one, but I'm pretty sure there's never been 3 holes in one in a year, and especially at the same location. So it's crazy I saw all of them and my brother didn't because I guess he just wanted to watch a different spot or something, but he heard us yelling over it and he was kind of bummed and upset that he missed it. But then the next year I also watched at that same spot, and we did have a younger girl come with us because they allow, like, I don't know, it's something about junior supporting young golfers or whatever. So she loved golf and was like way more obsessed with it than we were, but it was so fun to be there with her and see her excitement. But there was only one hole in one that year, but some years there aren't any. But it was at hole 16. So I was so glad she got to see that. And that was a lot of fun. And my sister and niece were there also. So it was fun being without our phones and together for that one. Whereas 2016, I think I was by myself the whole time, but I didn't care. I loved it. But I was like telling my sister she needed to come the next year. So the other crazy thing about the 3 holes in one were, oh, I cannot say that phrase. 3 holes in one. Anyway, the thing is, the first guy did a hole in one. It was amazing. We were so excited. The second guy did a hole in one. Crazy, amazing. The third person, we were like, oh, no way. This other guy's ball is in the way. He hit that ball and then it was like, oh, actually, maybe what? And it totally went in. And we were like, what? Like, when you think it can't get any better than 2 holes in one. Ugh. Anyway, definitely a big memory and very awesome and exciting. So I'm wondering if anyone watching this has watched the Masters and remembers that moment. But anyway, kind of crazy. So that year, I believe I was sitting on one side, and then the next year I sat on the opposite side. So anyway, some different perspectives. Ooh, it makes me want to go back. Oh, but one of the interesting things that I had never thought about with golf was you can hear the crowds cheering at the other holes. So it's really annoying when you know you missed something because everyone is so loud. But for me, it wasn't that bad because we were at the spot where everyone was cheering. So, oh, I loved the gift shop too. I can't remember. I guess I got this one for myself, but I also bought a sun hat, and the food and everything is very reasonably priced. Like, I'm a small town Southern girl, and I'm like, no, I'm not paying $12 for a sandwich, but it was, I mean, just like a basic sandwich, but I remember it being very affordable, and so that was kind of a nice surprise. Um, and then the cups that they give you water in, you can really, like, you can take them home as a souvenir, so that's kind of nice. And the bathrooms, this was amazing. So I was like, oh my goodness, this is the only time where the women's bathroom is less crowded than the men's. Like, I did not have to wait in line most of the time and not for very long, but you could see the men's line like coming out the door. It was so funny. But I loved it because they had people in there working, and in between people washing their hands, they would go and wipe down the sink. And I still do that now to this day. What is this? Like 7 years later, 8 years later, I still, when I go into a public restroom and I get my paper towels, I just use the rest to wipe off a little bit of the counter, because it was so nice being able to like put your purse down or your phone on the counter and it's not getting wet and gross. So I was like so impressed with how well run things were. And I've never experienced something quite at that level, which makes sense because the Masters is so well known and everything. So anyway, just some unexpected things, but I absolutely loved not being on the phone. So I would leave it in my car all day. And it's just a different feeling. I really want to go back with my husband. We were dating at the time of the second time that I went in 2017. And I just think it would be such a great date to where, like, oh, you don't have your phone, but it's also interesting and awesome. And let's see, what else? Oh, I think I wrote him a postcard from while I was there. And I also bought postcards in the gift shop and like stationery that had the Masters on it. Oh, I can actually show you some of that too. So they have a really good gift shop. These are the postcards. This is not open. These were $10 and there are 8 of them. And it has different ones like the clubhouse and different views of different holes on the course. But they have like playing cards and oh, I should have painted some of these things too. So it is pretty busy, but they have a lot of lanes open and it flows pretty well. Trying to think. My sun hat was my favorite thing, but it's kind of like not falling apart, but just showing its age. And I'm kind of sad about that. But I think they have like towels and they just have like all sorts of stuff. So it really is fun and interesting. And I do recommend it if you ever get the chance to go, even if you don't like golf. But it was crazy just walking around and watching. You could hear them hit the ball. Also, like it was just this like pop. I don't know. It was crazy. They'll take your picture in front of the clubhouse. I need to find those because it's not one that was on my camera. So I just always think of the Masters at this time of year. And even we traveled to the airport a couple of weeks ago and in Atlanta, and our lounge had stuff about Augusta and the Masters coming up. Some signs about that. So I just have this new pride and appreciation for it. So I wanted to share that and share some of the kind of behind the scenes things about it. This is not like my most proud painting, but it does make me want to paint some other stuff from the Masters. So this is approximately where Augusta, Georgia is in the United States. So I like that.